to be the name of some dinosaur. The name was long and unusual, and it was hard to figure out a pronunciation. The descriptive language used in the poem was that of tyranny and power, of stone and of kings. The pattern, in short, fitted that of my childhood illustrated books about prehistoric life. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert," I thought of a plaster jacket being applied to the remains of some terrible beast from prehistory. A true tyrant lizard king, perhaps, now broken into bones and fragments of bones in the badlands of North America. Not all that is broken is lost. The lines, "On the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains," might be seen as time having the last laugh over a self-important ruler, but the world of that pharaoh has been remembered. The statue is evidence of its existence, the content of the words, the details of its style, clues to its context. Read like this, Ozymandias gives us a way to think about fossilized organisms and the environments in which they lived. Take out the hubris, and the poem can be read as being about finding the reality of the past from the remnants that survive to the present. Even a fragment can tell a story in itself, a piece of evidence for something beyond the lone and level sands, for something else that used to be here, for a world that no longer exists, but is still discernible, hinted at by what lies among the rocks. The Ramesseum itself was originally known by a name that translates as the House of Millions of Years, an epithet that could be easily appropriated for the Earth. Our planet's past also lies hidden under the dirt. It wears the scars of its formation and change in its crust, and it, too, is a mortuary memorializing its inhabitants in stone, fossils acting as grave marker, mask, and body. Those worlds, those other lands, cannot be visited, at least not in a physical sense. You can never visit the environments through which titanic dinosaurs strode, never walk on their soil nor swim in their water. The only way to experience them is rockwise, to read the imprints in the frozen sand and to imagine a disappeared Earth. This book is an exploration of the Earth as it used to exist, the changes that have occurred during its history, and the ways that life has found to adapt, or not. In each chapter, guided by the fossil record, we will visit a site from the geological past to observe the plants and animals, immerse ourselves in the landscape, and learn what we can about our own world from these extinct ecosystems. By visiting extinct sites with the mindset of a traveler, a safari-goer, I hope to bridge the distance from the past to the present. When a landscape is made visible, made present, it is easier to get a sense of the often familiar ways that organisms live, compete, mate, eat, and die there. One site has been chosen for each geological epoch up to the last of the Big Five mass extinctions 66 million years ago, which together constitute the Cenozoic, our own era. Preceding that mass extinction, one site has been chosen for each geological period, which comprises several epochs, back to the beginnings of multicellular life in the Ediacaran more than 500 million years ago. Some sites have been chosen for their remarkable biology, some for their unusual environment, some because they have been preserved so precisely and give us an unusually clear glimpse of how life existed and interacted in the past. Journeys have to begin at home, and the course of this journey will pass from the present day backwards in time. We will begin in the relatively homely surrounds of the Pleistocene ice ages, when glaciers locked up much of the world's water in ice, lowering sea levels worldwide, before traveling progressively further back in time. Life and geography will become less and less familiar. The geological epochs of the Cenozoic will take us back through the early days of humankind, past the largest waterfall ever to have existed on Earth and the temperate, forested Antarctica, then right up to the end Cretaceous mass extinction. Beyond that, we will meet the inhabitants of the Mesozoic and Paleozoic, visiting dinosaur-dominated forests, a glass reef thousands of kilometers long, and a monsoon-soaked desert. We will explore how organisms adapt to entirely new ecologies, moving onto land and into the air, and how life, in creating new ecosystems, opens the possibility for even more diversity. After a brief visit to the Proterozoic, some 500